What's going on, family? What's going on? Hopefully everybody's having a great and exceptional day out there. Life is good. It's Sunday morning. Had some good food. About to get my read on. I'm still old school with it, so I still like to get my read on. I'm going to be reading The Stone of Hope, talking about rising above slavery, Jim Crow, and poverty in Glendora, Mississippi. I actually met one of the men who wrote this book, Johnny B. Thomas, 2 years ago in Glendora, Mississippi, when I went to the Emmett Till Museum. That was my first time in Mississippi, so I'm finally just getting to the book, but I'm almost done with it now. This is my second time reading this book called Charting and Technical Analysis, #1 charting manual for investors. I'm not giving out investment advice, but like I said, I like to learn about investing and things of that nature. Because a day without learning is a day not worth living, in my personal opinion. Or as a former coworker of mine used to say, if you go the whole day without learning something, you've basically, in a sense, failed for the day. And he said that was 10 years ago, and I actually believe in that. So yeah, if you're an investor, think about signing up. The links will be in the description when I post this video. Thinking of signing up with Acorn, Stash. If you're into crypto, Coinbase. All that good stuff. You'll be able to you get some money when you sign up, and then you'll WEBULL, crypto.com. And if you believe in investing in the stock market, bonds, cryptocurrencies, having an individual retirement account, like I said, nowadays, having as many economic backup plans, that's why I'm on social media now. Having as many economic backup plans is probably one of the most important things ever. It's always been important to me, but in 2025, as you see people specifically on TikTok, the most talking about how much they can barely get by, how much, the cost of living is, kicking them in the butt, especially the cost of food. Shout out to anybody who's a parent right now, making it happen with their kids financially, because I know this is one of the hardest times for regular, everyday working people, especially single parents. I was raised by a single mother, so I know what it's like. But she didn't wait, luckily when my dad passed away, he, had his economic house in order. I didn't understand it now. Then, when I was a child, I understand it even more now. How he had his economic house in order when it came to insurance, Social Security, death benefits, and things of that nature. He made sure that we were taken care of when he before he passed away, because I guess in a sense, this is where I get it from. I didn't know him that well because he passed away when I was 3. But he always had his eyes on the prize when it came to money. Not money to be bragging about how much of a nice car he has. Not money of how much of a nice house and watch and phone he has. But money in regards to how much does he have in the bank? How much does he have in investments? How much does he have in any other specific asset that could take care of himself and his family if and when something bad happens? Or because, life happens. So that's why I was just like, you never know. The biggest money move anybody can make is having peace of mind, happiness, and somewhat of an economic insurance package, however you may get it, to ensure that you're taken care of. And if you have a family, specifically that your family's taken care of, so your family doesn't have to do a GoFundMe when somebody passes away. But that's just my personal opinion. I'll leave it at that. What do I know? I know usually most people want to be talking about celebrity nonsense, political nonsense. I like to talk about the economic stuff. So that's the stuff that, can help take care of me and my loved ones, just in case, something bad happens to me or the economy's going in the tank like it is right now, because I don't even know. I'm 42 years old. Hold up, show you my dog Max. He's mad that he has to be in the cage, but I'm like, your brother, when I go live, you can't be distracting me. But anyways, so I'm 42. I remember back in 2007, 2008, when the economy crashed. And I remember how thankful, love you too, Max, how thankful I was to have a job. Luckily during that time frame, because basically the economy was in the tank from 2007 to 2013. You started to see a real change in 2014 and 2015. As far as the hiring process and the job market and whatnot, because that was a good time to buy a house, specifically in a major city. Because say if anybody would have bought a house back in New York City, like if I had the mindset I have now, if I would have bought a house back in 2000, between 2000, instead of buying a house in Northern Virginia, if I would have bought a house in DC for $300,000 to $400,000, which you can't even get an apartment, a condo for DC for that price anymore. If I would have got something for that price back in those days, that house would be worth $1 million in 2025. Even with the economy, or specifically between 2022 and 2025, the house would be worth $1 million or more so. And I would have took equity at $200,000 to $300,000 worth of equity out of that property, and bought rental properties in specific areas like Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Baltimore, Maryland, possibly even Cleveland, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, Detroit, Michigan. If I had that, because I basically would have bought houses for between $10,000 to $70,000. Or even cheaper, you know what I mean? So just imagine being able to buy up to 5 to 10 houses, rental properties that are mortgage free, and be able to cash flow each property between profits of $800 to $1,200 a month. You add that up, all those amount of houses that I would have had. I bought a couple of rental properties, but if I would have had the mindset, or as they would say, the testicular fortitude, to be able to just had that kind of economic vision instead of just focusing on a job 100% of the time, then I would, my lifestyle would be much more different right now. So the moral of the story is being around the right people, getting the right information, and being around people. Like I put a post out there yesterday saying that I like to be around people that are talking about goals and money, because I've been around enough people that just want to complain about sports and politics, talk about how many women are having sex with, and any other gossip that has nothing to do with taking my life to the next level. I've been around that enough in my life. And 10 to 15 years ago, I was around the kind of people that I'm networking with nowadays. Like if you're an investor, business mindset person, you want to check out going to Invest Fest in Atlanta, Georgia. It'll be on August 22nd. It's a 3-day event. I'll be there. And it's, I've started to network with more people who are like-minded. And all I can say is that's the kind of specifically men I want to be around. So that's shout out to the men that are handling business. Shout out to the women that are handling business. But that's just my morning thought for the day. I said I was going to try going live on here at least once a week, because I usually don't have that much time during the week and whatnot, because you got to work, do business, creating content. But hey, like the video, subscribe. If you see this video on YouTube, if you're not seeing it on YouTube, please go to my YouTube. It's called Larry's Anything Goes LLC. I finally monetized on YouTube, so I'm just trying to make things happen. And, hey, drop your links in the description if you have anything for me to subscribe to, and go from there. And as I always say, do great thiefy things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you can live like a fool, as they say in Spanish. Bienvenido a la vida. Welcome to the life.